So we often think of global club football as, this pretty set landscape, right? Champions League, Copa Libertadores, then the Club World Cup kind of wraps things up. But the sources you share today, they seem to point towards something, well, much bigger brewing, a real shakeup. What's the main thing we really need to get our heads around here?
Well, what's really fascinating and maybe hasn't quite hit everyone's radar yet is just the sheer scale of what FIFA is planning. We're not talking small tweaks here. This isn't just changing a date in the calendar. No, this is a fundamental shift in how the biggest international club prizes are going to be decided. It's huge, a real restructuring of the global game.
Okay, yeah, fundamental shift. That sounds big. So our mission today is to really dive deep into these changes, right? We're talking about this massive, expanded Club World Cup, almost like a new main event every 4 years. And then there's this new annual competition too. Plus, we need to look back at the history, the records that got us here. The idea is, by the end of this, you'll really understand what's coming, what it means for the clubs, the players, the whole beautiful game. Okay, so to really get why these new plans are such a big deal, we probably need to touch on what just ended, right? That last old-style FIFA Club World Cup happened just a few months back, December 2023 in Saudi Arabia. It really felt like closing a chapter.
It did, yeah. And Manchester City won it quite convincingly, actually, 4-0 against Fluminense from Brazil. In a way, it was kind of a symbolic ending, wasn't it? A top European team showing their strength. And what stood out, really stood out, was Julian Alvarez scoring after just 40 seconds, fastest goal ever in the final, bang, just like that. And that win sealed City's quintuple to 5 trophies in 2023. So it connected that old format to this dominant modern team.
40 seconds, blink, you'd miss it. Summed up their year, really. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting, as you said. We're leaping from that, familiar 7-team thing each year till something completely different. FIFA's clearly decided the old way wasn't enough. So this revamped FIFA Club World Cup, that's the main event now, the big one.
That's the one, the absolute marquee event. It's officially called the Mundial de Clubs FIFA 25 Euro. That name itself signals something bigger, doesn't it? It kicks off June 15th, runs to July 13th, 2025, hosted in the United States. And here's the key thing. It's every 4 years. Just like the World Cup for national teams. That frequency, that alone tells you how important FIFA sees this. It's putting it on that top tier.
Every 4 years. Wow. And the size of it. 32 teams. How does that even work? 8 groups of 4, you said?
Yeah, exactly. Think World Cup format, but for clubs. Top 2 from each group move on to a 16-team knockout bracket. Single elimination, it's going to be intense. High stakes from the get-go.
But hang on. 32 top clubs, plus their travel, packed into 1 month, on top of their already crazy schedules. Isn't there a massive risk of player burnout here? Or, the quality dipping later on? What are the challenges FIFA's facing with that?
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge question and probably the biggest concern. Player welfare is critical. These players already play so many games. Adding a month-long high-intensity tournament, well, it's a lot. Clubs will need serious squad depth. Rotation will be key. There's definitely a risk of fatigue impacting performance, especially in the later stages. It's a balance, isn't it? More global competition, which FIFA wants, versus the physical toll on the players. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, something to keep a close eye on. Okay, so the 32 slots, how do clubs actually get in? Must be pretty complex to figure out globally.
It is, well, reasonably complex, but there's a logic to it. The main way in is simple. Win your Continental Championship between 2021 and 2024. That's your ticket. Then the other spots, they're filled based on club rankings within each confederation over that same 4-year period. So it's a mix of direct champions and consistent performers.
Right. Let's break that down a bit because the allocation tells a story. Europe, UEFA gets 12 slots. That's a lot.
It is, yeah. The biggest share by far.
So 4 automatic spots for the Champions League winners. Chelsea, Real Madrid, Man City, and whoever wins in 2024. They're in. And the other 8, based on rankings.
Correct. Based on UEFA's coefficient rankings. So you've got your Bayern Munich's, PSG's, Inter Milan's, Porto, Benfica, Dortmund, Juventus, Atletico Madrid. The usual big names, really.
But there's a cap, right? Only 2 clubs per country.
Generally, yes. 2 per country is the limit, unless a country happens to have more than 2 different Champions League winners in that 2021-2024 window. It's designed to spread the representation a bit, stop it being dominated by just 1 or 2 leagues.
Okay, makes sense. What about South America kind of bubble?
They get 6 slots, 4 go to the Copa Libertadores winners, Palmeiras, Flamengo, Fluminense, and the 2024 winner. The remaining 2 spots are filled via CONMEBOL's ranking system, again, rewarding that continental success.
Gotcha. And North and Central America, CONCACAF.
4 slots for them. All go to the winners of their Champions Cup from 2021 to 2024. So that's Monterrey, Seattle Sounders, Club Leon, and the next winner.
Okay, Asia, AFC.
4 slots as well. The AFC Champions League winners get 3 spots. Al Hilal and Urawa Red Diamonds are confirmed, plus the 2023-24 winner, and then 1 more spot based on rankings.
And Africa, CAF.
Same structure, 4 slots. Champions League winners like Al Ahly and Wydad Casablanca are in, along with the 2023-24 winner, plus 1 ranking spot.
Right. And Oceania, OFC.
Just the 1 slot for OSC. That goes to Auckland City as they're the highest ranked champion from their region during that qualifying period.
And finally, the hosts, the U.S.
Yeah, 1 slot reserved for a U.S. club as the host nation. How exactly they'll choose that club? That's still to be decided, apparently. But that overall, you can see the ambition, right? Trying to get representation from everywhere, really pushing the value of winning your continental title.
Definitely feels more global.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that massive tournament is only every 4 years, what happens in the other 3 years? FIFA clearly still wants some kind of world champion crowned annually, so they've cooked up something else.
Exactly. They didn't want to lose that annual rhythm completely. So they've introduced the FIFA Intercontinental Cup. This new competition starts this year, actually, December 2024, and its whole purpose is to make sure we still have a club world champion every single year. It's essentially a knockout tournament featuring the champions from all 6 confederations. But, and this is where it gets controversial, especially when you think about, the existing power balance in football.
Uh-oh. Controversial how? Let me guess. Europe gets special treatment.
You guessed it. The UEFA Champions League winner gets a direct bye. Straight to the final.
Wow, straight to the final. Seriously?
Seriously.
So the other 5 champions, they have to play off against each other.
Yep. They go through a series of intercontinental playoff matches. The winner of that whole process then gets to play the European champion in the final, at a neutral venue, mind you.
Okay. I can see why that's raising eyebrows. It feels like it's basically saying, Europe's best is already the finalist, let everyone else fight for the other spot.
That's precisely the criticism. It gives European clubs what many see as a massive built-in advantage.
Is FIFA just acknowledging reality there, the current dominance, or are they kind of cementing that hierarchy?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You could argue it's pragmatic. European football is dominant right now, financially and often on the pitch. But it definitely sends a message about who FIFA considers top dog. It raises fair questions about, fairness. Is it truly about global competition on an equal footing? Or is it more about guaranteeing that big final features the team likely to draw the biggest audience? It certainly leans into the established order.
Yeah, that's going to cause some debate for sure. Okay, before we look too far ahead, let's quickly ground this in history. Because this idea of a world club champion, it's not brand new, even if the scale is. Where does this all start?
That's right. It has roots going way back. The original competition was the Intercontinental Cup. It ran from 1960 all the way to 2004, but that was usually just a one-off game, sometimes 2 legs, between the champions of Europe, UEFA, and South America, CONMEBOL. Much simpler. It really reflected where the power centers of football were perceived to be back then.
Right, just Europe versus South America. And FIFA did try a bigger tournament before, didn't they? Way back in 2000.
They did, yeah. The first FIFA Club World Championship was held in Brazil in 2000. Corinthians actually won it. But then, due to various problems, financial issues, calendar clashes, it didn't happen again until 2005. It shows the ambition was there early on, but making a truly global, regular club tournament work. It's proven tricky over the years.
Definitely. So looking at the records from the version we just finished, the 2005-2023 one, who stands out?
Real Madrid. No question. They've won the FIFA Club World Cup 5 times. And if you add in their wins from the old Intercontinental Cup era, they have a staggering 8 world titles overall. It just underlines their historical dominance on the global stage.
8. That's incredible. And players.
Yeah.
Any standout record holders?
Toni Kroos. He's got the record for the most wins by a player, 6 titles.
6? Wow.
Yeah. 1 with Bayern Munich early in his career, and then 5 with Real Madrid. Just amazing consistency.
He really is.
And the all-time top scorer in the competition, Cristiano Ronaldo, with 7 goals. Again, names you'd expect at the very top.
Makes sense. Now, you mentioned European dominance earlier regarding the new Intercontinental Cup format. How dominant have they been historically in the Club World Cup?
Okay, get this. A European club, a UEFA team, has won the last 11 editions of the FIFA Club World Cup.
11 in a row.
11
Yeah.
straight
Big
since
time.
2013.
It's
Well,
totally
dominant. It really puts that new format's bye to the final into context, doesn't it?
It really does. So who was the last non-European team to win it then? Must feel like a lifetime ago for fans outside Europe.
It was Corinthians back in 2012. The Brazilian side beat Chelsea 1-0 in the final. That victory feels increasingly like an outlier given the trends since then. It highlights the huge challenge facing clubs from other continents even before these new formats kick in. Exactly. History shows this very clear pattern. The big question now is, will these new, bigger tournaments actually change that dynamic? Will more slots mean more chances for upsets for teams from Asia, Africa, the Americas to challenge? Or will the financial might of Europe just mean they dominate even bigger stages?
Right. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for everyone listening? These are huge changes coming to the top of club football. More games, bigger tournaments, new trophies, understanding these formats, the Intercontinental Cup, the massive new Club World Cup. It's pretty key if you want to follow the global game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole new landscape, more teams involved, more potential for global clashes. It's designed to be more exciting, more inclusive maybe, but it also brings challenges like player welfare and reinforces some existing questions about competitive balance. So here's the final thought, maybe something for you to ponder as you watch all this unfold. We've got these massive new stages designed to bring the world's best together like never before. Will the usual suspects, the European giants, just continue their reign? Or could these expanded formats, this new structure, finally crack the door open? Could we see new powers rise and genuinely challenge for global glory? It's going to be fascinating to watch. A new era is definitely dawning.